Let's talk about Quinshon Judkins. You know, we don't like to speculate around here, but feels like he's getting paid a little bit more at Ohio State than he was at Ole Miss. In fact, I'm pretty sure that one of like the collective treasurers or presidents or whatever of like one of the Ole Miss collectives liked a tweet by someone that said it was like Lane Kiffin running backs. Like they were all like super successful, and like Quinshon Judkins, while he did have more elite numbers than the other guys, like 1,300 yards in both years and 17 total touchdowns. That's absurd. But it was Lane Kiffin running backs; they were all good, So I think one of the boosts, it was like this is why you don't pay a running back under Lane Kiffin or whatever. And one of the boosters like liked a tweet or whatever. So funny. I believe the speculation is that he was asking for a lot of money, but he's going to get it at Ohio State. But it's going to be Traven Henderson's back, right?
Yeah, no, I think this was a deal that made sense for both those guys. Trayvon Henderson more than Judkins, but Judkins, I guess both guys. Trayvon Henderson has battled a lot of injuries in his career at Ohio State. If you followed him closely, super explosive back, dynamic runner, really changed that offense once he got back healthy, and helped almost a limited passing game with Kyle McCord, and really gave him an explosive running game that really complemented each other very well. And Quinshon Judkins is a guy that you can give the ball 30 times a game that you love. And he's a workhorse guy that'll get you those tough carries, but also can explode explosive runs out of the backfield, pass protection. He's a complete back, a guy that's gonna be was very highly sought after in the portal, rightfully so, and decided to get a bag and an NIL check that he wanted, he thought he deserved, and good for him. I do think he wanted to also save touches and mileage for his NFL career, right? Like you look at a guy that was almost gonna have almost 1,000 touches on his name in just 3 short years, entering the NFL draft next year. And he wanted to be able to A, make a lot of money, B, also compete for national championship, which he could have done at Ole Miss and Ohio State, but also save longevity for his pro career while also accumulating and adding value to his name. It makes a ton of sense for Ohio State and Quinshon Judkins. But yeah, you mentioned it. Like, is it worth paying a running back all that money? Who knows? But if you have the money to spend, there's no salary cap and college football NIL stuff. You might as well. And obviously, it gives you insurance for both those guys. Not only does it lessen the likelihood of injury, but also helps you get fresh legs come November and December when it's going to be a grueling conference slate for you in the Big 12 or in the Big 10. And then you also have to win, what, 3 or 4 more games in the playoffs just to win a national title. Having two backs and having depth is going to be harder than ever in this era. And Ohio State's doing a really good job of doing that, especially at key positions.
Yeah. Now we joked about Lane Kiffin running backs always doing well. This isn't a big loss. Let's not be mistaken though. This is a big loss. Okay. If you talk to
Mhm.
any writer on the beat for Ole Miss, any beat writer, they will all tell you like freshman year Quinshon Judkins was the best running back that they've ever seen at Ole Miss. And they've seen Deuce McAllister. I thought they ran for 3,000 yards there at that school. If Quinshon Judkins had stayed one more year at Ole Miss, he would have shattered any record Deuce McAllister could have possibly had at Ole Miss. Shattered. Shattered. Deuce McAllister like 300 yards or 3,000 yards. Quinshon Judkins is like 2,700. He would have shattered. He's he is better than Deuce McAllister. So that is incredible, right? So it is a big loss. But like you said, for Ohio State, this is a nice little get there. And it was a problem these last couple of years. Like that, the depth in that running back room was a problem. It was a problem when you had these guys getting injured. And I don't know whether that's running back coaches or strength and conditioning. I don't know what was happening over there, or just dumb luck. But this is a guy that is going to boost that offense. And he's another one of those, like, Ohio State only took 5 guys, right, in the transfer portal, and they're all elite. They're all elite. Julian Sane, Quinshon Judkins, I mean, Caleb Downs. They're all elite guys. So I think Quinshon Judkins is going to fit right in this Ohio State running back room. I think he'll get touches immediately. I think he's going to get good looks. I think this is a good move for him. So uh, he'll be likely in the draft next year if I had to guess.
Yeah, and you mentioned his freshman year. He was brought into a running back room as a underrated 3-star recruit from the state of Alabama. Obviously, Bama got on him late and really wanted him, but he said no. Committed to Lane Kiffin and did a very good job getting it in on him early back in his recruitment days in high school. But yeah, they brought in. Remember they brought in Zach Evans, a former 5-star guy, highly rated guy that averaged almost 7 yards carry at TCU, come over and play his final year of ball at Ole Miss, and then also Ulysses Bentley, another highly rated guy from SMU, right? Two guys that have averaged 5-6 yards a carry. He came in and was the workhorse and immediately upgrade better than all those guys and really outshined everybody in that room and really gave Lane Kiffin's offense a super dynamic, part of it in the run game because yes, they brought in Jackson Dart, but it didn't really take off the passing game that much until this year. He really bought him a year of development with the new roster, with the new wide receivers, with the new quarterback to really get it done there for Lane Kiffin. And for everything that happens with Lane Kiffin and all the flash and all the Twitter cryptic tweets and the trolling, all that happens, he loves to play smash mouth football offensively and run the ball really, really well. And Quinshon Judkins allowed him to do that for 2 years now, even though he battled injuries this year, was still super productive. Over 15 touchdowns this year. You said almost 1,200 yards. That's a tough loss for him. This is a massive loss for him. I know a lot of things have been made about, everyone runs the ball well in Lane Kiffin's offense. You can't overpay a running back, but also like this is a massive loss. He is a special player, and he's maybe one of 2 or 3 running backs that are actually worth that kind of money, according to somebody. And obviously, Ohio State thought so and gave him it. This is a good job for Judkins and Ohio State for kind of having a mutually beneficial relationship here, being able to maximize your value and also get a lot of money for it, and not only now but also in your future.